Okay, so we did something different last class than this thing, but we'll finish this today. Again, we're on part 5. So you're almost done. That's what it says right there in the book there. You have been working user interface for multiple question types, and you're recording the player's answers. The final steps include calculating the results, presenting them, and dismissing the results screen so that the quiz is ready for a new player. Pass data to the results view. When the results segue is fired, that's your opportunity to pass the collection of answers from the question view controller to the results view controller, where the results will be displayed. In order to do so, you'll need to implement prepare for segue sender question view controller so that they can handle the passing data. The resulting view controller also needs a property that can receive the data. This property would be used to calculate and present the final outcome of the quiz. Add a property to the results view controller that can be set in the prepare for segue sender method in question view controller. So there's 2 view controllers you're going to have to deal with, of course. The one, of course, is the results view controller. So if you look at your your storyboard here, and let me make this a little bigger. Remember, we have this one right here. So you have both of these. We need to take the data from this one and pass it into this one, and then we need to display it in this one. Again, this is results view controller, and this one is the question view controller. So there's 2 different view controllers here with 2 different places for that. So add a property to the results view controller that can be set for the prepare for segue method in there. This property would need to be an implicit unwrapped optional so that the view controller can be loaded from the storyboard even if the property doesn't have a value. So again, click on this one, the results right here, and then do your well, we already have it here. It's already here. We just need to change this. Okay. Oh, this is the right one. This is the results view controller. You can see it right there. Make sure it just says results view controller up there. See, again, I have this selected, and it should say results view controller at the top. And then after the view controller, I would say you would put the variable up there, right? Variable response. Response, RESPONSES, responses, and then answers with a capital A. Answer, not answers. And then put your exclamation point till it has some value. No? Is that the wrong spot? It looks like a good spot for it, right? At the top up there. Now declare the prepare for segue sender in question view controller if you haven't already. Before you pass data in the prepare for segue sender method, it would be good to verify that you're executing the expected segue. You can check by comparing the segue identifier property to the results segue. If the 2 equal, you can be sure you're going to display the results view controller. Okay, so again, we need to go back to the first one. So we have answer right there, responses right there. So go back to this one, and then of course the prepare for segues at the very bottom, right? If you remember, we put in this right here. Remember putting in the navigation controller. So with the navigation controller, it already has the code for the prepare for segue in it, I believe, right? It should be towards the bottom down here, right? Where is it? Prepare for segue. No. Here's a segue right there. No, didn't it put it down here? Prepare for segue storyboard center. Do a little preparation for navigation right here. So I guess we need to comment this out, I guess. Delete it. And so, I don't know. I'm going to get rid of all that. I know we have all these things here. There we go. So is that enough? Which one is going to... Uh-oh, I'm getting a message here. There we go. Okay, so towards the bottom should be the override function prepare for segue. Down here at the bottom, did you see it? It's at the bottom of your view controller for the question view controller. So again, we need to send the data. So they have, after the any, in between these marks here, after the curly bracket, they have if segue dot identifier equals result segue. So that should be the name of the segue, I guess. Oh, two quotes. Results segue. Then they have curly bracket. Hold on, I gotta move my window around a little bit here. I'm missing a quote here, I guess. Now I got too many brackets. Maybe I need enough. No, and maybe I need that bracket. And so I think we named this result segue. Is that what we did here? This right here? Is that result segue? What did I program? Was it result or results? Oh, look at that. I spelled it wrong. Look at this. So again, where's this word coming from? The word is coming from here. If you click on the segue here and go to the attributes, this is what it needs to be called. And boy, I don't know. Did I name it wrong? I guess I did. This should be, I guess I'm going to go back and do it like it is in the book here. For some reason, this should say result segue. No, I don't know if this will mess anything else up. What's that?
It was result segue, not result segue.
It's result segue or result?
Yeah, it was result segue, not result segue.
Result segue, not results.
Yeah.
Singular. One.
Singular.
Result. You have an S in one.
Where?
In the results.
Here? Or are you talking the programming I just did?
Segue identifier.
And yeah, here.
Yeah, that is.
I need to change this.
Results or result?
Which one? What should I do? Tell me what. Should I change this to results like it is written, like I just programmed it? I was looking at the way it's spelled in the book there. But will that mess up the programming? Is what I'm trying to say.
We've been going with result singular for this whole thing, so we should stick with it.
Okay, so
See what the red result?
okay, so I'm going to go back to that then, and then this should be result, like it is in the there. Okay, I'm just going to go with that. So let's not look at what was in the book. Go with what, oh no, now it's giving me a message. Is that right or what?
After if, you have a QUE instead of a GUE.
Well, thank you, boy. Thank you. Okay, let's go with that. So again, remember, this is what it's named, the segue. So whatever you name the segue, just make it that. That's my whole point. Okay. Next, you have to downcast the destination property from the view controller to the results view controller so that you can access the responses property you just added. So underneath here, inside of what we just made, we need to let results view controller equals segue dot destination as results view controller. Results view controller dot responses is the new one we just made. No answers chosen. Okay, so let's try that. Let result view controller equal segue dot destination as results view controller. Results view controller again. Dot response is equal to answers chosen. If you build and run your app, try setting a breakpoint in the last line. Inspect the response properties of results view controller to see if that is currently nil. Step over the line and you'll see the property update to reflect the answers you gathered while taking the quiz. So put a breakpoint where? On this last line, inspect the response. So right here, I guess, is where they want a breakpoint, right? And then step over it to see if answer's chosen, right? And then to step over, is it this one? Hide this one? No. This one? No. Did it show me my results? How do I step over? Oh, that's the one I should have clicked on. Let me try again. So where's my answers? Values here. We got questions. We got value, 4 values, and so on. Okay, so something's coming through. That's what they're trying to tell you. Okay, let's continue. Hold on. Let me remove this breakpoint. Okay, calculate answer frequency. Now that your results view controller has players' responses, it's time to think about how to calculate the personality. What is the most common personality type among the selected answers? In this example, the player gave 2 answers that correspond closely to dog and only 1 for each of the other animals. That's best results would be dog. If 2 or more animals are tied for the most answers, either one would be a valid result. How can you tally up the results? You'll need to loop through each of the answer structs in the responses property and calculate which type was the most common in the collection. A good solution might be the dictionary data model, where the key is the response type and the value is the number of times it's been selected as the answer. For example, if the player gave 2 answers that correspond closely to dog and only 1 for each other animal, the dictionary would look like the following. Of course, you have 2 dogs, 1 cat, 1 rabbit, 1 turtle. To begin, declare a method called calculate personality results that you can call in view_did_load. With the method, create an empty dictionary that will hold the frequency of each response as the code above. For which animal are you quiz, you could choose the following code. When calculating the results, you need to entire answer struct. You can care about the type property of each answer, so you can create a new specified collection by mapping each answer to its corresponding type. Add the following line to calculate personality results. Now it's time to literate through response types and calculate the total. Imagine first response correspond to a turtle. The dictionary was empty initially, but after adding turtle responses, it will look like this. What if the second response corresponds to a turtle? Now the dictionary will look like this. What's happening? If the key already exists in the dictionary, the current value is incremented by 1. Otherwise, the key is added to the dictionary and the current value is 0. Here the code that literates to the collection and adds or updates the key value pair. Determine the most frequently answers. Now that you have dictionary, you know the frequency of each response. It's possible to determine which value is the largest. You can use the Swift sort by method as a dictionary to place each key pair into the array. Sort the value properties in descending order. How does this code work exactly? Again, it's calculating a dictionary. Sort to close any key value, animal pair 1. Okay, well, let's just try. So that would be in the override view_did_load. We need to add calculate personality results. And is this in the question view controller? Is that where we're putting this, you think? Not in the results view controller, is it? Or we need to put this in the results view controller? I think it's in the results view controller. So this is after they go. So we need to go to, where are we going? Go here. There we go. And then up here, I guess. In the super view_did_load, right here. We can remove this. And then give it one of these. And so calculate personality, calculate personality result, and then result. Did I spell that right? No. Am I putting it in the wrong place? You think that's where I should put it? Well, I guess maybe we just need to make a function.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. You just need to make a function. So let me organize this a little bit. Okay. And then down below here, we just need to make a function. Same word, calculate personality results. So I'm just going to copy this. Copy this. And then we got to put a variable in there. Is that a capital of or lowercase? Of answers?
Capital L.
No, it's a lowercase. Or is it a capital? I can't see. My eyes are not very good. Is that a capital O in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then, of course, we need animal type. Is an integer. And then we have that, and then we have that equal to when calculating the results, you'll need the entire answer struct. You only care about the type property of each answer. So you can create a new simplified collection by mapping each answer to its corresponding type. Add the following line. So in this case, response types equal to responses dot map okay, again, if you think about it back here where the they're just worried about this one right here, type. See it right there? The animal type. I guess that's what I'm assuming there. Type. Response type. Responses. Animal type. Answer. So you're trying to pull this data out is what I'm trying to say there. When calculating answer struck. So where was the answer at? This one right here, answer struck right here. They want this type and then animal type right there. Animal type corresponds to this one right here. So you got your dog, your cat, your pig, your mouse, your bee, and your monkey. Do we even use a bee and a monkey?
Actually, I was using 6 animals. I was thinking of making with 6 animals. You can just remove.
Okay, let's not worry about it. I think we could just use the first 4. Like in here, I think they only have 4, right? Okay. But you just added a bee and a monkey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. I'm just trying to figure out where the data is coming from, right? So again, they're talking about pulling the data out of answer struck. The type is the animal type, and it's corresponding to these animals here. That's where the code is coming from here. That's what this is referring to. Now it's time to literate through response types and calculate the total. Imagine the first response corresponds to a turtle. They give you the answer turtle equals 1. Well, the second response corresponds to a turtle, but now the dictionary looks like this. 2 turtles. What's happening? If the key already exists in the dictionary, the current value is incremented by 1. Otherwise, the key is added to the dictionary and the value is 1. Here's the code that literates through the collection and adds or updates the key value pair in the dictionary. So we need a 4 response. Response. In response type. I'm just going to copy these. I don't want to have to keep. copying and pasting so I don't type it wrong. You know me. Typing wrong. It's pretty. Response. And 2 question marks, a 0, round bracket, and then we add 1. And I get all kinds of errors. Is that 2 question marks? You see 2 too? Is that me?
I see 2.
I see 2. Oh, I see 2. You cannot use optional chaining on non-optional values of type integer. Replace with. Question with. Connective statements on a line must be separated by a colon. Insert that. Expect separator. I don't see no separator there. What if we got rid of 1? Oh, didn't like that either. I don't know. Anybody get past this part? Doesn't like the 0. The 2 question marks and 0.
Space between the question mark and the parentheses.
What's that?
There should be the space before the question mark.
Before the first question mark.
Oh, before the first one. Oh,
Solved it for me.
there you go. See? 1 little space. Determine the most frequent answers. Now that you have a dictionary that knows the frequency of each response, it's possible to determine which value is the largest. You can use the Swift sort by method as a dictionary to place each key value pair into an array. Sort the value properties in descending order. So again, we will have a let. Let me organize this a little bit. Frequent, I'm gonna spell this wrong for sure. Frequent answer sorted equal frequency of answers dot sorted did by pair 1, pair 2, Okay, so it doesn't know what frequent answers sorted is. But we'll continue. How does the code work exactly? Oh, we got to do a let statement. We got to bring it out. That's the problem here. Let most common answer equal frequency sorted free. Dot first key. Okay, which one is the biggest, I guess? No, doesn't like most common answer, no. Doesn't know what most common answer is. The parameters you pass into sorted by is a closure that takes any two key values pairs in the animal quiz. Pair 1 might correspond to cat and pair 2 might dog. With the body of the closure, you'll need to return a Boolean value to help the method determine which of the pairs is larger. In the case of return 1 is greater than 2, the Boolean value is false, so the method knows that pair 2 is larger than pair 1. When the method is finished, the array frequency sorted answer sorted might look something like this below. For key value pairs, we have the same value. There is no way to rank one over the other, so rabbit, turtle, and cat may be different order, but it doesn't matter since you only care about the first element in the array, which is the biggest one, which I guess is dog. Dog is the biggest one. The closure may be simplified by using trailing closure syntax, using the $0 and $1 as argument names and removing the implied return. Combined with retrieving the first element key, you can simplify all the code into one line. Let common answer equal frequency of answer sorted is greater than first key. So they're telling us to get rid of this. Why do I have key at the end?
Sounds like maybe it's just another way to do it.
Yeah. I don't know, so let's get rid of this. Let's call it frequency of answers. Of answers. Of answers.
Oh, you have written frequency of answers, and now you are writing frequent of answers.
Frequency with a Y? Or no, S in it? No, CY. Most common answer equals frequency. Frequent. Q-U-E-N-C. Frequency of answers. Dot. Oh, no space. Sorted. And that is $0.1 is greater than $1.1 and then first dot key. Is this the same here? Frequency. Let me copy that. There we go. Still doesn't like oh, I spelled, I forgot F there. There we go. View the results. Now that that's left is to update the text on your label to appropriate values inside calculate personality results. You'll need to add some outlets and results view controllers so that each label text can be updated in code. Open the assistant editor and control drag from each label into space within the results view controller class definition. Give each label appropriate names. They have result answer label and result definition label. So there should be what? Still giving me error messages here. It doesn't like frequently answer sorted and common answer. What do you guys think?
Well, since they're not red, I wouldn't worry about it so much
Mhm.
right now.
Okay, let's just go and try and finish. Okay, again, we go over here to the label, and then, of course, have your code up here. And this is, what do I have here? View controller. What? This is a generic one. You need to have your results view controller up over here. And so we're going to take the label here and option drag. And what did they call that one? Result answer label. Result answer label. Result answer label. Okay, and then this one will be result definition label. Result definition label. Did I spell it right? Definition label. Okay, so we have two outlets there. Add the following code at the end of calculate personality results to update your labels with the data held in most common answers. So the calculate personality results down here at the very end, before we end here, we need to update the labels. So the result answer label dot text equals what is it going to tell me I am? URA. What? Of course, we got to put the most common answer. Dot raw value. Result answer label dot text. Am I putting it in the wrong spot?
You have a space between the backslash and the open parentheses.
Man. You mean here? Wow. And then result definition labeled text. Result def label dot text equals most, no capital, most common result answer dot definition. Uh-oh. I lost my thing here. I got two main storyboards up here. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, it still doesn't know, like... my frequent answer sorted. Restart the quiz. The most personality quizzes the player runs through all the questions once and only once. After results have been displayed, there shouldn't be any way to go back and change previously answered questions to try and achieve different outcomes. Unfortunately, the back button on the results screen implies that they can do that. To hide the back button in the navigational bar, add the following line. Instead of changing previous responses, the player should be able to dismiss the results and start with a clean slate. A tap of the Done button can result in the introduction view controller, making it very clear the quiz is over. But the moment the Done button doesn't connect to any sort of action, you'll need to create an Unwind method of the first view controller. Add the following to introduction view controller. Oh, remember that when we were doing the color one, right? Remember we had to do an unwind after 3 screens. We had to go back to the first one and unwind. If you remember that. Okay, so I don't know. Let's just test it and see how far it goes here. Let's save. Let's try. Oh, we have one going already here. Which animal are you? I like bananas. I like barking and climbing. And I like to take rides. I'm a monkey. You love to copy others, trouble others, very social. See? Just like, yesterday I had a student doing a presentation on the hi. How are you? I'm doing okay. So I had a student doing the presentation on the the monkey, the Chinese symbols, right? And who do you think is a monkey? Me, yes, of course. Yes. Okay, so done should go back to the beginning is what they're trying to say, and you should disable this so they can't go back and change their answers because it's going to crash, just like it did. So let's clean this, and then let's disable the button like they said. So again, restart the quiz, and most people are going to run through the questions only once. Unfortunately, the back button on the results screen implies that you can do that. To hide the back button on the navigational bar, add the following line to view did load. So this would be in the main storyboard going to, I guess this one, we don't want this back button here. We want to hide that. So in the view did load up here, we're going to add navigation item dot hide back button equals true. Okay, so that hides the back button here. So when they get to the results screen, they can't go back. But we do want them to start over again when they hit done. So instead of changing previous responses, the player should be able to dismiss the results and start with a clean slate. To tap the done button can result in the introduction view controller. Tap the done button can return to the introduction view controller, making it very clear that the quiz is over. But at the moment the done button doesn't connect to any sort of action, you'll need to create an unwind method in the first view controller. Add the following to the introduction view controller definition. So that would be all the way at the very beginning, this one. Because we want them to go all the way back to here, right? All the way back to here. So we need to add an action to unwind view controller. You'll need to create an unwind method in the first view controller. Add the following to introduction view controller definition. Let's try it. At IB action func unwind to quiz introduction segue UI story can't see here. UI story, is it a capital S? Yeah. Board. Segue. And then okay, so this IB action func unwind to quiz introduction segue UI storyboard, and now we have to connect it. I'm assuming here. So we're going to connect the done button, so when they hit it, it goes back to this option here. If you remember, we were doing this in the color. Remember the color one? Where you go through the color screens and you go from the last one back. It's the same kind of concept there in the color, the one where we did the green, yellow, and red screens, and you had to go back to the first one. So since the app doesn't need to retain or pass back any information, when the results view controller is dismissed, you can leave the method body blank. In the storyboard, control drag from the done button to the exit at the top of the view controller. Select the unwind to squiz with an option that appears at the pop over. So again, you go over to the this one, the results, and if you click on it, you'll see there is the exit right here. So we can control click to the exit, and it should say with an action, unwind to quiz introduction with segue right there. Boom, you click on it, and that should take you back to the very beginning. So again, that code that we just put is in the first view controller, which is the starting one, and to go back to that one again is after results. When they hit done, it goes right here to exit, and you choose it, and it should go back there. Now the player taps the done button, unwind segue would dismiss the view controllers that were created after the introduction view controller was displayed. This includes both the question view controller and the results view controller. Congratulations, build a custom personality quiz for iOS. Okay, well, I think that we need to test to make sure it works first, and then we can do a congratulations. So let's hit the play button here. Uh-oh, I got an error message. Still doesn't like frequent answers sorted. Was never used. Personality quiz. I like steak. Eating for sure. And roaming. And submit answers. I never like to drive in a car. I'm a dog. Isn't that cute? Let's try again. Personality quiz. I like fish. I like climbing. And I don't like driving in cars. I'm going to be a pig. Wow, I thought it was going to be a cat. Okay, let me try again. How about if I like corn, and I like barking and climbing, and I do like driving in the car. Oh, I'm still a pig. Oh. Am I going to be a pig every time now? How about if I am I like fish, I want to get a cat, and I like eating, and I like driving in a car. I'm a dog again. Okay, so I don't know. How would you add more animals like she was trying to do? Where she had what? Well, you had a bee, right? We got bees, and we got what else did you add? This one right here. What is this? A cat.
The answers should be 6. All the answers should be 6.
All answers are what?
We have 4 answers, but we have got 6 animals. I don't know.
What if you don't submit any answers there? I'm a monkey. I don't know.